peace starts wars and funds both sides. The Minister of Justice, well, justice at the moment, we get poor people get no justice and rich people get what they want, even if it's not justice. Our justice system stinks. The education system stinks. 1954 in the UK is with us big time. And we're all bloody oblivious because we do nothing but watch game shows on TV and buy Happy Meals for the children. We live in a state of oblivion. It's fucking stupid. Ha ha! Wake up! Wake up! Some people are a quarter asleep. Some people are 3/4 asleep. Wake up! Listen to people like Russell Blunt, well, and even David Icke. You know, David Icke, some people think David Icke says the royal family are reptilian shapeshifters. This is not entirely bollocks. But Russell Brand, respect man, you and I must speak, sooner rather than later. Russell Brand, I'm overweight and need to lose weight. Russell Brand sort of talked about being, there's omnivores, there's vegetarians, vegans, etc. My mother ate fish only because of her migraines. She was a pescatarian. I am now a flexitarian. Russell Brand introduced me to the term flexitarian. I am now a flexitarian, largely vegetarian and vegan, and I try not to drink too much alcohol. This is what's called is it called a popsicle or something? It's it's 4.5% alcohol, raspberry and lemon with probably with vodka in it. But I don't make a habit of this. I have a rule about alcohol. If I wake up with a hangover, I've overdone it. And I haven't had a hangover since I was 22 years old. So I've stuck to my discipline of alcohol's all right. If you have a hangover, it's not all right. But that's my personal rule for me. Each their own. You make up your own. You have your own relationship with alcohol. I mean, so long as it doesn't end up with you in the gutter or to other people in the gutter, so be it. But perhaps you don't care about. If you believe the people that end up in the gutter deserve to be there, fine. Each their own. Believe what you like. There's nothing. Nothing is right or wrong. There's no such thing as a mistake. I mean, you may think there's a mistake. Like, I thought I made a mistake when I tried to do this first video, and I recorded it locally instead of live on Facebook. Oh, fuck, what a stupid mistake. I've done a lot of thinking, and now video 4 is better than it's exceeding my expectations. So, cheers. Delicious. Pardon, Andrew?
That sounded very good. I can so you're getting better. Well done, Martin.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Andrew and I are birds of a feather, and
I thought you turned it off.
Hey? No. I like you talking in the background, Andrew, chipping in occasionally, not all the time. Well, even I've actually said to Andrew, he and I should have a conversation, and he can interview me or vice versa, or we can interview each other. I mean, that would make. Patch video number 5 is going to be Andrew and me together on camera. We'll show you how we have a difference of opinion in many areas, but we'll show you how to handle difference of opinion. For example, he tried to stand for general election as part of the Natural Law Party, and I stood as a one-man band, the UK Progressive Democracy Party, and I got 57 votes in a marginal constituency, which I think is a miracle. But the Natural Law Party have decided, well, they can't sell. They don't seem to be able to sell their politics to the masses, so they temporarily backed out of the political market.
Well, we only got 140 votes.
Well, I think, considering there's only one of me, I think I've done better than you, but there we are. But no, Andrew and our main contention is I have a bit of a problem of what I call people of the oneness. Everyone being one is not, I'm an advocate of pluralism, and pluralism is the opposite of oneness, but there's pros and cons to pluralism and pros and cons to oneness. I think I call Andrew a sort of a member of the oneness brigade. And, I'm very scathing. I'm very scathing about the oneness. I say, well, look, it is not the answer to sit around the whole of your life saying. Om. That's not going to fix the world. Om. Even the Dalai Lama. Om. Now, it's great that the Dalai Lama exists. It's great that some of the messages he pumps out are wonderful. But too many people say om. It's not a panacea. It's part of the answer. It is not a panacea.
You've got to get the vibration right.
Yeah, well, and Matthew, Andrew talks about vibrations. My Auntie June, my late Auntie June, Dot Cotton, who used to be June Brown, who used to be Dot Cotton and Dot Branning in the soap opera EastEnders, and June Brown was very, very popular. She got an MBA. Before she died, she got an OBE, and she was interviewed by Piers Morgan for an hour on television and got a standing ovation. My answer went on and on and on about ego, problems of ego, and problems of vibration. Andrew is into this vibration. I prefer the Scientology model of the tone. They have a tone scale. But my Auntie June thought, well, anger is my Auntie June said anger is a low vibration. Martin, you're too angry. You need to raise your vibration. And I was constantly, my aunt and I got on well most of the time, but when it came to arguing about vibrations, bloody hell, we didn't understand each other. So look, if when people don't understand each other, don't bang your head against a brick wall. So take a break, get on with your life. Individuals, and the next time you come together, you might make some progress. But and if you don't make progress, well, let it go. I mean, life is too short to do too much banging your head against brick walls. You learn things. If you bang your head against brick walls, don't be. You've got to get the balance right between being too persistent and giving up too early. Right, moving on, maybe another segment, maybe not. I've talked about books that have been turned into films. So, this Forbidden Planet is probably Shakespeare's Tempest turned into a film, science fiction film. And George Orwell, 1984, has been turned into a film. Animal Farm has been turned into, and H.G. Wells' The Time Machine is very prophetic. He gets the hero makes a time machine and goes into the near future, then he goes a long way into the future, and in this distant future, I mean, some people are familiar with the film, others not, but in this future, there is a large number of people who are innocent. They were adults, but innocent, absolutely innocent. Innocent men, innocent women, and they were all a community of innocent people just eating fruit, like chimpanzees, just, live in a forest with an abundance of fruit. They're hungry, they eat. They want to poo-poo, they poo-poo. They want to swing from one branch to another. Sort of idyllic, painless life, all a bit brain dead, but all very loving. I won't say loving. See, what happened when the time machine got there? One of their members fell in the river, and they ignored him, and he was puzzled. One of their men fell in it. They're so busy relaxing and having fun and enjoying their fruit. One of them falls in the river. No big deal. Well, are they going to drown? Well, some people drown, some people don't. Nothing is more important than relaxing, being nice to each other, and eating fruit. So there's a weird, by modern day standards, present day standards, there's a weird side to this future of the fruit eaters. Some of their number falls in the river, drowns, fuck it. It's just one thing. It rains sometimes, the sun comes out sometimes. One of our people falls in the river sometimes, and they sometimes get out, and they sometimes don't. Que sera, sera. So this group of nice, innocent, be nice to each other is very much a que sera, sera. But here's the other. There's another group of people, probably men only, who live underground, and they're called the Morlocks, and they're meat eaters. They live underground in the dark, with torches and things, and occasionally they come out on ground and grab one of the Eloi and take them downstairs and cook them. I don't know if they cook them, they eat them. They're meat eaters, and they survive on the... Now, this is a warning. The way things are going, 1984 is a warning. The way things are going, we could end up with Big Brother. Incidentally, I've been out to the Philippines a few times. In the Philippines, it seems to be Big Matron. They have billboards the size of half a football field. I mean, there's obviously no limit on the size of billboards in the Philippines. They have a matronly woman, big matron, selling toothpaste or skin lightening creams. What? Filipinos having race shame. I don't understand why some black people. My girlfriend is mixed race, and she describes her father as so black you couldn't see him in a dark alley. Well, is this realism or is this racism? But, but no, Michael Jackson allegedly used skin whitening cream, but I mean, Filipinos, skin whitening, big matron selling skin whitening cream, race shame, Filipinos, race shame, fucking hell. I mean, I like Filipinos. Well, yeah, I like Filipinos. The men, the women, very nice people. And it's Roman Catholic country. And that's an aside. I'll go back to these fantasy futures. The Forbidden Planet, 1984, Animal Farm, The Time Machine. These are warnings. This is all warnings. If we don't buck, if some of these trends aren't bucked, this is where we could end up. Now, out of all these things, what I want to say more about is Animal Farm, because Richard Wolff and I think the centre should be approached from the left. Marx, Jordan Peterson keeps slagging off Marx. He's read the Communist Manifesto and he hates it. And and not only that, he says that people like Stalin, Lenin, and Mao, etc., killed millions of their own people. And so Jordan Peterson says, well, if you kill millions of your own people, your philosophy must be a big pile of crap. So QET, Lenin, Stalin, Mao, etc., killed millions of their own people. And even Hitler. I mean, he killed many of the opposition. But he didn't care how many Germans died. I mean, he sent the Germans to fight the Russians in a winter, and I mean, the Germans were getting frostbite and dying of hypothermia, and the Russians being properly dressed for a Russian winter. I don't know if they massacred the Germans, but I mean, absolutely massive, stupid thing to do to try and fight all these battles on several fronts at the same time. I mean, Hitler had a lot of great strategies. He had a strategy called Blitzkrieg, which was a bloody good idea. But towards the end of the war, Hitler lost his nerve and went bonkers, and sacrificing large chunk of the German army against the Russians in a Russian winter. Bloody stupid, But Animal Farm. For those that don't know the story, the